The U.S. is calling out Russia for actually helping ISIS through its support of Bashar al-Assad and his regime in Syria. The administration's point man for fighting ISIS, Brett McGurk, says a Russian-backed government offensive in northern Syria is drawing rebels away from the ISIS fight. Iranian forces are also battling the anti-government fighters around the city of Aleppo. Some of those rebels are backed by the CIA. The president, who promised to end the nation's longest war, is sending more troops back to Afghanistan. National Security Correspondent Jennifer Griffin has the numbers and the reasons from the Pentagon tonight.
For the first time since combat operations were declared over in Afghanistan a little over a year ago, the Pentagon is sending a battalion of 500 soldiers to halt an advance by the Taliban in the volatile Helmand province, a serious about-face for the Obama administration, which pulled all U.S. troops out of Helmand province, handing over U.S. bases to the Afghans at the end of 2014. Just 14 months later, the Taliban have made a comeback. The Army's 287 Infantry Battalion out of Fort Drum, New York, will be the unit going to Helmand. The outgoing U.S. commander in Afghanistan, General John Campbell, has pushed to slow the drawdown. Current rules of engagement prevent U.S. forces from striking the Taliban except in self-defense.
Our country has made the decision that we are not at war with the Taliban.
General David Petraeus, who commanded U.S. forces in Afghanistan until 2011, argued in a recent op-ed, quote, "We do not need a big U.S. troop buildup in Afghanistan, but we should take the gloves off of those who are there." Last month, an American Special Forces soldier was killed and 2 others wounded in an hours-long firefight alongside Afghan forces in Helmand, another sign that U.S. forces are still engaged in combat in Afghanistan. Last week, General Campbell told lawmakers that a quarter of Afghanistan is at risk of falling to the Taliban.
I think the Taliban know that we downsized. I think the Taliban understand that in the past they couldn't gather in larger formations. I think we've seen this year that they have taken advantage of the reduction of the number of coalition aircraft.
Airstrikes in 2015 were down 2/3 from the year before. There are 9,800 U.S. troops in Afghanistan right now. That number is supposed to fall to 5,500 by the end of this year. General Campbell would not say how many U.S. troops he thinks should stay.
Announcing numbers provides the enemy maybe in their mind that they can wait us out.
The U.S. military no longer has any bases in Helmand province. The 500 U.S. soldiers will have to go to a former U.S. base turned over to the Afghans, making this deployment all the more challenging. Brett?
Jennifer Griffin live at the Pentagon. Jennifer,